Let's get physical. It's Jordan here, back in with this week's update and all the physical releases coming to the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, the 17th of November until the 21st, and this week we are starting with the Nintendo Switch 2 because frankly, it's the more interesting console this week. Kirby Air Riders is the big game from Nintendo. I know I complained during a direct about where are all the games for the end of the year, and I was probably, well, mildly drunk, but also wrong, because we've just had Zelda, now we've got Kirby, and Metroid is not far off. Anyways, this game has had the most marketing effort in a Nintendo game I've seen in a long time. It's had more marketing than the console itself, probably what it cost to placate Sakurai into making the damn thing. And I know I only watched the first direct, but it looked really awesome. Still had some minor concerns, but still infinitely more interesting to me than Mario Kart World, which I have not played since launch day pretty much. I'm sure the general public and sales numbers won't agree with that, but it is a cool game to let more hardcore gamers have something cool and varied to play. And of course, it is a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive release, and my executive producers, Ishin, JCross7776, Jetta Crow, Dead Bunny's YouTube, Punky Dooster, Viz, Ghost Bune, and Alolo Jojo have chosen this as their pick of the week. Hades 2 Nintendo Switch 2 Edition is releasing this week on Nintendo Switch 2. Contrary to what I reported before, there is no Switch physical release. There is only a Switch 2 physical release, but that's fine because even Switch owners can play this Nintendo Switch 2 cartridge on their Nintendo Switch because it's a Switch 2 edition. It's actually a pretty cool concept and a nice little loophole for companies, but anyways, this is a massive release. I just talked about hardcore gamers. Well, I think this may be the more popular release on Nintendo Switch 2 of the two that are releasing this week. The exceptional gameplay and presentation that endless other indies have tried to replicate, but you can't beat the real McCoy. It is a big release for Nintendo Switch 2, and yes, it is a proper cartridge, and my executive producers, Louis K, Jimmy A. Guerrero, Dave Huswaite, Big Bruno, Adamantium, Firm Returns, Super Ben Julio, Jake Vav, Robotech, Vey, Thorn Metal Luna, God of Resin, Michael Del Polito, and Jennifer M have chosen this as their pick of the week. And if you want it, or any of the retail games in this video, please consider purchasing via the links in the description and pinned comment. That massively helps me out in this series, keep producing useful physical content for you guys, and VGP are a really nice company with favorable pricing and Canadian buckage, plus free worldwide shipping on orders over 75 Canadian dollars, which is less than like 54 American bucks. Plus each week, if you buy something, you are put into a draw to have a chance of winning a $10 discount coupon. And this week's winner is Brian P. I didn't know how to approach that one. But anyways, thank you so much for your support. You should get an email from VGP with your discount coupon very soon. Alright, let's move on to the Nintendo Switch. It is a bit of a quieter front. Nice Day for Fishing should finally be releasing this week. This one keeps getting pushed back, but I think it should be this week. This is a game from those blokes whose videos keep auto-playing on Facebook anytime I log in to check out how the mutants, former classmates, are doing in life. A comedy troupe focused on video game tropes. It's cool to see them do their own game. And a little thing between you and me, I'm actually working on my own game. I have someone making a prototype as I speak with a view for full development. Something small, but I think it's going to be cool. Anyways, back on topic, it is a side-scrolling fishing action RPG. Some call it a bit simple, but apparently if you like the lads and their humor, you'll get some enjoyment out of this one. It's also on PlayStation 5, and my executive producers, Nerdy Sean, Azareth, D's Nuts, Brent McLean, and Kevin W have chosen this as their pick of the week. Samurai Academy Paws of Fury is releasing this week in Europe, probably. With North America, I'm not entirely sure. Either way, I wouldn't expect anything spectacular. Obviously based on a kid's property, it looks like a mild step up from the usual outright game sort of effort. In a world full of cats, you are a dog who wants to, kill them all, take a nap, but not before taking a dump on the doormat. It is also on PlayStation 5, and my executive producer, Cartoon Soren, has chosen this as his pick of the week. Terrifier, the ARTcade game, is maybe releasing in North America this week. VGP have it down for this week. Other places do not, so don't be surprised if it doesn't turn up, but you think VGP would know since they have like exclusive bonus material if you buy from them. Anyways, this has some really terrifying box art alongside some really simple looking gameplay. It's a gory beat 'em up with retro pixel art that really wishes it was in the 80s. It's coming in a standard edition as well as a limited edition, which if you pre-order from VGP, you get 3 acrylic standees alongside all the extra goodies, and the game looks alright to be fair, and it should be releasing in Europe at some point in the near future too. And my executive producer, Radio to Rancid, has chosen this as his pick of the week. Harvest Moon, Home Sweet Home. A quick mention to this, which is releasing in Europe this week. It is already out in North America and is supposedly as bad as you'd imagine. A quick port of a mobile game, just when you thought the franchise was catching up to its name. Monster Jam Steel Titans Bundle and SpongeBob SquarePants Bundle. A quick mention to these two, which according to Amazon in the US, they are exclusive to there, and they are double packs. Who'd have thought that? The first contains Steel Titans 1 and 2, whereas SpongeBob includes Bikini Bottom, the remaster, and Cosmic Shake. Not bad. I should also give a very quick mention to SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide, which is releasing on Nintendo Switch 2 this week as a game key. Boo! Alright, the low print limited pre-orders, there's only one this week. Snow Bros Classic Collection is limited runs only released this week, and it is a bit of a random one considering there is a remake of this already out there. Well, this isn't that, but it does have 3 versions of like home ports of the arcade game. It has the NES version, the Genesis version, as well as the Game Boy release, which you can see I'm playing right now. All of which are probably solid single-player arcade-style games. Maybe the package is lacking in some punch and, it feels like scraped together, but I'm sure these games have their fans who are happy about this little collection. It's also going to be releasing on PlayStation 5, and my executive producers, Joshua L., Dave Horworth, and Josh Foote have chosen this as their pick of the week. As a heads up, VGP will have a bunch of new limited run games releases 1 hour from this video going live. They will have Gex, Salt and Sacrifice, Sanctuary as well, Komajo Remilia 2, and a good few other stuff. I will pop a link down below if you want to be ready to have a second chance of grabbing some of them. I will make a video a bit later on detailing everything, but sadly, due to how YouTube is, if I show it close to this video, it'll basically destroy them both. So I have to give it a bit of a breather, but yes, there will be a link down below in the description if you want to pick up some limited run releases. Alright, the import section, Play Asia territory. If you pre-order any of these, you can also get 5% off if you click my Play Asia link and use the code Jordan 2025. And as a reminder, Play Asia have a free shipping week. Well, I say week, there's only 2 days left. You have until November 19th for free worldwide shipping on orders over $80 American. So make the most of it. Okay, I think it's gonna be unless this is a massive success, I think they're still gonna do it to maybe once or twice per year. So make the most of it. Sumikko, Gurashi, Tsukurou, Suteki-na, Sumikko, Shima. Nailed it! Is releasing this week in Japan, and I have to thank VGP for giving me the heads up that this has English, because I would have never known. Play Asia don't say anything about English, and because of the publisher, I would have immediately dismissed it. I wouldn't even do my normal research because their games, this publisher, never have English. Well, except this one, apparently. Yes, this life sim thing, I don't even know what it is, but it looks more adorable than my heart is capable of understanding. I don't think many people are going to rush out to get this one, but I think a small section of the world will be very happy. Speaking of which, my executive producers, Surfacing for Air and the Nemo 6, have chosen this as their pick of the week. BOKURA Planet is a double pack of 2 games that require co-op play. You cannot play this single player unless you're an Octopus or Goro from Mortal Kombat. These are puzzle platformers that need teamwork, and they're supposedly really good. The first being the better of the two, but it's such a niche thing that it can be hard for most of us to make the most of it. But if you want to try it and, make the most of it, maybe force your moody teenager to play it with you over Christmas, then maybe it is something interesting. Love delivery and love in, log in. A quick mention to this is already out in Asian regions with English, notorious for its collector's edition. However, all that is sold out, but this upcoming Japanese edition should have English according to the Japanese eShop, and the Japanese collector's edition appears to be the same as the Asian one, so you can be just as cultured but this time in Japanese. Japan is also getting these games. R-Type Delta is getting European release like very soon, and North America is getting it via limited run. El Dorado Creatures already has a Western release, and the other 3 games do not have English. Alright, before we jump into the community spotlight, if you're new here, please subscribe to this channel, okay? I am on a rampage. Let me get to 40,000 before the end of next year, okay? That would be fantastic. You're not only benefiting me, but you're benefiting yourself because you get loads of awesome stuff with me, right? Loads of awesome videos, and I work very hard for you guys, so yeah, subscribe, okay? Alright, the community spotlight. Executive producer Adamantium sent in this photo, one of a good few who no doubt will be picking up Hyrule Warriors on Nintendo Switch 2. It kind of mirrors the Switch 1 launch a little bit. If I'm remembering correctly, the Switch 1 had Fire Emblem Warriors in the winter of its first year, or am I misremembering that? Maybe it was the second year, actually, I don't know. Bent S sent in this photo, getting in 2 copies of Fading Afternoon. I do know there was a bit of sought afterness about this release, like shortly after launch. There were some stocking issues. Not sure of its status right now, though. Either way, the game looks really cool. Executive producer Big Bruno sent in this photo with the Octopath bundle, which is happily still readily in stock now at VGP. No more rushing out to grab it and it selling out in a few minutes. It is a great way to get into the series before the new one, coming in a couple of weeks. Bill R sent in this photo completing the NEP trilogy, saying he wasn't sure why he bought it. Maybe it was due to the furore around Nintendo banning it in the West. Either way, it's nice to see it actually happen. Executive producer Cartoon Soren sent in this photo with a nice mix of games. Man, Munch's Odyssey, that takes me back to picking up the Xbox around the launch. Not launch day, but, around there. The sales guy in Electronic Boutique, he really tried to persuade me to get Project Gotham Racing instead of Munch's Odyssey, and maybe he was right to say that, but there was no way a racing game would be chosen by myself over a new Oddworld game. Like, come on, were you really trying to persuade an 11-year-old to do that? Culture Weeb sent in this photo, probably photo of the year. I have nothing else to really add to that. Executive producer Danielle O sent in this photo. I was looking for the clever artwork in Kamane Date, like is there something special if you turn the box upside down, but I don't think so. I think she just put it upside down by mistake. Oh well. Executive producer Dave Horwer sent in this photo with some import exclusives, all for slightly different reasons too, like Steel Empire is missing in action at Strictly Limited Games, Menhera Farm banned in the West, and the Telenet Shooting Collection 2 is probably in Limited Run's Unlimited waiting list. Executive producer Dead Bunny's YouTube sent in this photo picking up Slipstream, saying it is a great racer if you're into the 16-bit era and need some 4-player couch multiplayer options. Executive producer Firm Return sent in this photo with Crow Country, a game I'm really happy to see do so well in terms of people buying it. We need more games like this, and less, deck-building roguelikes. Franco F sent in this photo of Unmetal, saying it was cheaper and easier for him to get the collector's edition because the game is so in demand, and I don't think there's been a reprint. Frank sent in this photo, which I think is the current crop of every Nintendo Switch 2 proper physical release. At least the ones that have English. There's a Japanese one that doesn't. But either way, good going, my man. It's a really good way to support, physical media. Executive producer JCross7776 sent in this photo, picking up 2 hilariously mismatched collector's editions. That Zelda one is much chunkier than I realized. Cat Kilad sent in this photo, picking up both variations of Shinobi from Limited Run. That middle one was a con exclusive, I think, like PAX East, West, whatever, I don't know. Pretty cool. Executive producer Kevin W sent in this photo. Call me extremely shallow, but that blonde on Zilia really does make me want to buy it. Like, the caveman brain is really kicking in. Executive producer Lewis K sent in this photo, picking up Majogami, which, yes, mine, actually appeared in the post as well last week. Will I have time to play it? Hell no, not right now. Lindsay S sent in this photo with the Atelier Riser DX Trilogy, which is 3 cards after all, and is easily one of the biggest imports of the year. I am going to make a video about the top 10 this year, and this is currently 3rd, and it would probably be much higher if it hadn't have sold out at VGP. Nintendo Gamer Gal sent in this photo with Pokemon Legends on Nintendo Switch 1, and that was a direct response to me saying I hadn't seen a single Switch 1 version. Though apparently according to sales data from somewhere I can't remember, it was supposedly fairly equal between Switch 1 and 2. I guess my audience is a bit biased towards, sending a message about physical media. They want to support Switch 2 as best as possible, I get that. But this is the first time me seeing a Switch 1 cartridge, or at least box. Executive producer Super Ben Julio sent in this photo, showing that, in fact, Have a Nice Death is not dead for North America. It actually released. The only thing I'm worried about is that Christmas ornament. It's mid-November, dude. The Alex Game sent in this photo, picking up the nice Japanese edition of Valhalla. I love that artwork. Plus the re-release of Hookah Haze, which is now available in just a standard edition. All right, let's have a roundup. McLaren. Gundam Base XEEX. The Fallen Starlight. Bub. Kresalak. Dabro 90. Starvy. Twig E. Matwell 1. Illogicool. Paul S. Rancid Games. Andrew R. Cost 71. Brian G. Alright, if you want to send in your photos, the details are on the screen right now, but as always, special thanks to my executive producers over on Patreon: Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Brent McLean, Alexander Cato, JCross7776, Punkiduster, Cartoon Soren, Robotech, Fawn Metal Luna, Vey, Instacritic, Precision Plague, Alex M, Josh Foot, Ishin, Lewis K, Kevin W, Jennifer M, Super Ben Julio, Double Dave, Husway and Horworth, Sora Cat, The Nemo 6, Ghost Bune, G Bautista 100, Rose, Adamantium, Azrath, Jake Vav, D's Nuts, Jeddah Crow, Brotorius, Surfacing for Air, Justin PDC, Cookie Kid, Radio to Rancid, Danielle O, Switch Effect, Kaba Clavacol, Nerdy Sean, Ligma, Michael Del Polito, Big Bruno, Jimmy A. Guerrero, Max Ty, Viz, Dead Bunny's YouTube, Alolo Jojo, Joshua L, and Firm Returns. If you want to join them, the Patreon link is down below too. It is the Let's Get Physical producer role. But if you don't, no worries, you've watched all the way through. You're supporting me anyway, so yeah, if you watched all the way through, please leave me a fish or fishing emoji in honor of nice day for fishing. I don't know why I want to say it like that, but I do. Go check out some of my other videos. I've had like a video daily, working so hard for you guys right now, and I do thank you for your support ever so much. Purchase via the links below. That is the best way. That is the best way to support me, and have a fantastic day. Take care.